Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Blackburn here for day 2 of our writing assignment. We will be discussing writing successful narrative essays. Our learning goal, student expectation 5.11a, plan a first draft by selecting a genre for a particular topic, purpose, and audience using a range of strategies such as brainstorming, free writing, and mapping. Your success criteria today. I can successfully write a personal narrative including the elements of plot. So let's take a look at the elements of plot. So now that you have an idea of what you are going to write about, it's time to map your story events. So we're going to look at this template to plan your story ideas. Remember, you are just writing bullet points for each story element to elaborate later in your personal narrative. So if we remember, typically we see the elements of plot in the shape of a hill. Well, that's the same thing that we're looking at on this template, but it's just organized in a little bit of a different format. So the beginning of any story has what we call the exposition, and this is where the author or writer introduces the characters and the setting in great detail or description. So you want to make sure that you have included the exposition in your personal narrative. Then after that, we have inciting incident and rising action. So you have one incident that leads to the start of the problem. So that's where you will have your the next part of your story, okay, your next paragraph. Then after that, at the very top of our hill, we have what we call the climax. That's the most interesting part of the narrative. It's also your next paragraph. So this is the most exciting part of your story, okay? Then after that, we go to the falling action, the event that leads to the problem getting solved. And then finally, your concluding paragraph is what we call the resolution, a personal reflection, shocking or surprising moment, or a new beginning. So this is the plot element in any great personal narrative or any great story, and all authors follow this. And if you think of movies that you've really enjoyed, you could actually plug in parts of the movie to this, because we know all movies start off as a script or a story. Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to look at your planning part that you did, and I want you to make sure that you have thought through what each section of your part that you had planned and mapped out could fit into this. Okay? And then that's what you'll be doing in Schoology today. You will be completing the elements of plot for your story and then beginning on your rough draft. Okay, so let's review. A well-organized narrative should have an exposition, should have a rising action, a climax, a falling action, and then a resolution. So that concludes our lesson for day 2 in writing a personal narrative. If you have any questions on what your assignment entails, please reach out to your teachers.